These 2D animation shorts are consistently pulling in millions of views and generating a solid income stream every month. Creating these videos is not only fun, people love watching this kind of animation on YouTube. If you've tried making these animations, you know how hard it is to find a simple step-by-step tutorial. That's exactly what we're going to do in this video. I'll show you 3 of the most popular animations used in these shorts. First, we'll learn how to create moving eyes and red eye animations. Next, we'll make a bird flying animation. And finally, I'll show you how to create this jaw bite animation. So, find a quiet spot and stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll be able to create these animations yourself. First, create a new composition and set the aspect ratio to 9:16. Since this animation is for vertical shorts, add a background to the composition and scale it properly so it fills the frame. Then, drop in the tiger image. By the way, I've already prepared all the images for this video since it's focused on animation. I've also shown how to create this style of images in an earlier video. I'll drop the link on the end screen so you can check it out after this. Now, zoom in closer. This will make working on the eyes much easier. From the toolbar, grab the ellipse tool and draw a slightly flattened shape for the eye. Set the fill color to white, add a black stroke, and keep the stroke width at 2 pixels. Place this shape on the tiger's eye and adjust the scale and rotation until it looks natural. Rename the layer. This small habit saves a lot of time later. Duplicate the layer using Ctrl+D, then move it over to the other eye. Now draw the inner part of the eye using the ellipse tool again. Remove the stroke and change the fill color to black. The size feels a little small, so increase it slightly until it looks right. Rename this layer as well, then duplicate it and place it on the left eye. Now let's add some life to these eyes by drawing the eyelids. Before using the brush, pre-compose the tiger layer and all the eye layers together, keeping the background outside. Select the brush tool and choose a hard round brush. Double-click the pre-comp to open it, because the brush tool won't work unless the layer is opened. Adjust the brush size according to the eye shape and pick a dark gray color. Gently draw eyelids on both eyes. Go back to the main composition. Now it's time to animate the eyes. Double-click the pre-comp to open it again. Zoom in, then select both inner eye layers while holding Control. Press P to bring up position, then click the stopwatch icon to set the first keyframe. Move 5 frames forward and shift both eyes slightly to the left. Move 10 frames forward and add another keyframe so the eyes hold that position for a moment. Move 5 frames forward again and slide the eyes from left to right. Move 10 frames forward and add another hold keyframe. Finally, move 5 frames forward and bring both eyes back to the center. Preview the animation. The eye movement already feels alive. Now let's take it one step further and turn the white eyes into red eyes. Go back to the main composition. At the exact moment the eyes return to center, cut the layer using Ctrl+Shift+D. Cut the background at the same point. Select both layers and pre-compose them together. Name this pre-comp Scene 2. Open it, then double-click again to reach the eye layers. Select the white eye layer, go to the color property, and add a keyframe. Move 10 frames forward and change the color from white to red. Repeat the same steps for the second eye. Return to the main composition and preview the result. To make the shot feel more intense, scale up the scene a bit. Now go to Effects Presets, search for CC Vignette, and apply it. Add a keyframe to the amount property. Press U to see the keyframes. Move 20 frames forward and add another keyframe, then go back to the first one and set the amount value to 0. Play it back again. If the vignette feels too strong, reduce it. Around 80 works well. Now pre-compose these layers together. Add a subtle zoom out animation so the shot doesn't feel static. For the second scene, do the opposite and add a gentle zoom in. Trim the work area so the animation plays in a loop. Finally, add a tiger roar sound effect and sync it with the red eye animation. Now let's play the final result. First, let's create a new composition and name it Bird Animation. Just a quick note, if you're finding this helpful so far, consider subscribing. Now, let's start by adding the background and fitting it to the frame. Next, add the fruits image and place it in the top right corner of the background. Now, drop in the bird image onto the background and pre-compose the layer. Then double-click the pre-comp to open it and place the wings image inside. I separated the bird's body parts earlier using ChatGPT to make animation easier. You just need to upload the full bird image into ChatGPT and give a simple prompt. Within a few moments, it separates the body parts for you. You could also use vector files from sites like FreePic, but this method is simpler and faster. Now, select the wing layer and grab the rectangle tool. Draw a mask on the first wing. Rename this layer right away so it's easy to identify later. Duplicate this layer, remove the mask from the duplicate, and draw a mask on the second wing. Now both wings are on separate layers. Select the anchor point tool and place the anchor point at the corner of each wing. For the second wing, right-click, go to Transform, and flip it horizontally. Now let's animate the first wing. First, position the wing correctly on the bird's body. Press R to bring up the rotation property. Click the rotation stopwatch to add the first keyframe. Move 4 frames forward and add another keyframe. Now go 2 frames backward, right between the 2 keyframes, and rotate the wing downward. Repeat the exact same steps for the second wing. Move the second wing layer behind the bird's body layer. At this point, the wing animation is only a few frames long. Copy-pasting keyframes again and again would take a lot of time, so instead click the rotation stopwatch while holding the Alt key. Then click the circle icon, go to the property, select the loop out expression, and click anywhere on the screen to apply it. Now when you play it, the wing flapping loops automatically across the entire layer. Do the same thing for the second wing. Turn on motion blur to make the movement feel more realistic. To enhance it further, go to Effects Presets, search for Fastbox Blur, and apply it to the wing layer. Increase the blur radius to around 10 and set iterations to 1. Next, search for Lumetri Color and apply it to the wing layer as well. In basic correction, slightly reduce the whites and lower the saturation to about half. Copy both effects and paste them onto the second wing layer. Now the animation starts feeling much better. To match the bird with the background, apply Lumetri Color to the main bird layer as well. Increase the exposure slightly and boost the saturation a bit so the bird blends nicely with the scene. Now select the bird layer, press P, and add a position keyframe at the start. Move 20 frames forward, then drag this keyframe forward. Go back to the beginning and move the bird completely out of the frame. Right now, the animation still feels a bit static. To improve this, parent the fruit layer to the background layer. Select the background layer, press S, and slightly scale it up. Press P, add a position keyframe at the start, and shift the background a little downward and to the right. Move 20 frames forward and bring the background back to its original position. Now the background moves along with the bird, making the animation feel more alive. Select the background layer again, press S, and add a scale keyframe near the end of the animation. Move a little forward and slightly increase the scale so there's constant motion in the scene. Now, one important thing I almost forgot. Go to Effects Presets, search for Wiggle Position, and apply it to the bird layer. Now, when you play the animation, the bird's body moves slightly with the wings. You can increase the wiggle speed if you want faster movement, but the default settings work well here. Next, add a bird wing flapping sound and sync it with the animation. Now, the final bird animation is ready. Let's watch it in full screen. One last thing, the eyes still need to be drawn, so I'll add them real quick. The process is exactly the same as the tiger eye animation we did earlier. Now, let's watch how it all comes together. Now this animation is actually one of my favorites, so just like before, let's start by creating a new composition. Add the background and fit it to the frame. Now bring in the leopard seal image. I know it looks a bit scary, but just ignore that for now. Next, add the fish image. Adjust the size so it feels right compared to the seal. Now head over to Effects Presets, search for Lumetri Color, and apply it to the fish layer. Go into Basic Correction and slightly decrease the temperature. This helps the fish blend better with the background. Press P to bring up Position. Then place the fish in the middle of the seal's jaw. Click on the Position stopwatch to add a keyframe. Move 10 frames forward, then push this keyframe a bit ahead. Now go back to the beginning and move the fish completely outside the background so it feels like it's coming in from outside. If you play it now, the animation looks something like this. Now we need one more fish image, the same fish but separated into parts. You can generate this using ChatGPT as well, just like we did in the bird animation earlier. You could also split it manually using masks and draw the bones with the brush tool, but that process takes much longer. That's why I'm showing this easier and cleaner method here. Place this new fish image at the same size and position as the previous one. Copy the Lumetri Color effect from the first fish layer and paste it onto this one. Now, where the last keyframe of the first fish ends, cut that layer and delete the extra part. At this point, the process is similar to what we did with the bird wings earlier. Select the rectangle tool and mask the first part of the fish. Rename the layer right away so it's easy to identify. Duplicate the layer, press M, delete the mask, and now mask the second part of the fish. So now both fish parts are on separate layers. Double-click one of the fish layers to open it. Select the brush tool, choose a brush, and adjust the size to match the area you're drawing. Pick a dark red color and draw like this. Go back to the main composition, then double-click the second fish part and do the same thing here. Now place both fish parts exactly where the first fish layer ended. Select one fish part, press P, and add a position keyframe. Move 20 frames forward and drag the fish part downward. Go back to the beginning, press R, and add a rotation keyframe. Then, at the same 20 frame point, rotate the part to something like this. Do the same position rotation animation for the second fish part. Now select all keyframes together, right-click, go to Keyframe Assistant, and apply Easy Ease. Open the graph editor, make sure the speed graph is selected, and drag it fully to the left. This makes the motion fast at first, then slow. Apply the same graph adjustment to the second fish part, then push the last keyframes about 20 frames forward. Now the fish animation looks something like this. Next, add the seal image with its mouth closed. Match its size and position exactly with the previous one. Cut and delete the old layer. Double-click the seal layer, select the brush tool, and lightly paint a few teeth red. To add a blood style effect, I'm using a green screen clip of white smoke. You can easily find these on YouTube. Trim the part you need and drop it into the timeline. Go to Effects Presets, search for Linear Color key, and apply it. Use the eyedropper tool to click on the green area, then increase the tolerance slightly. Now search for the Fill effect and apply it. Set the layer's blending mode to lighten. Press T and lower the opacity so it blends perfectly with the background. I'm also slowing this clip down since the smoke movement feels too fast. Then double-click here to enable frame blending on the layer. Adjust the smoke according to the fish parts, then parent the smoke layer to the fish so it moves with it. Duplicate the smoke layer, adjust it for the second fish part, and parent that as well. Now select all layers together and pre-compose them. Go to the exact frame where the bite animation starts. In Effects Presets, search for Wiggle Position and apply it. Open the wiggle properties and add a keyframe on speed. Set the speed to around 25 and the amount to 45 or 50. Move 2 frames back and set the speed to 0. Then move 3 frames forward and set it to 0 again. Press S and slightly increase the scale so no black edges appear. Now add a sound effect to give the animation more impact and place it correctly on the timeline. You can also add a green screen bubble clip to make it even better. And now the animation is ready. Let's watch it in full screen. Alright, that's it for today. If you'd like a part 3 with more animation styles or a specific animation you want me to cover, just comment part 3. And you can check out the video to learn how to generate images for this kind of animation.